Alright, so for Limit Break 1, we need to go to Rulude Gardens, and we need to talk to Matt. He is where we're going to be going for the majority of our Limit Break quests, up to level 70. And then we have to talk to a Moogle instead, I believe, who's right next to Matt in order to go past that a little bit further. But he's going to ask us to bring him 3 items. Now, this quest used to require you to go and farm those items from specific enemies. However, they have changed that since the olden days. You can still do it that way. Or you can find items and you can just bring them to... You can, like, there's, like, interactables on the ground now that you can use instead. Hi, Matt.
Well, you've come quite far, but you've still got a long way to go. You know the people here. Well, don't take this personally, but to them, you're just a tiny little bug. And I'm the one who trains them. Yeah, you can call me a teacher. I'm sure you've ambitions of your own, right? If you want to break the barriers within you, you'll have to pass my test. What do you say? Very good. Gather these. A piece of ancient papyrus, a clump of X-ray mold, and a chunk of bomb coal. Well, get to it.
So, the ancient papyrus is the one that actually... I'm sorry, the bomb coal is the one that becomes quite interesting. So, first, we should probably buy the maps for all 3 of these areas. We are going to need to go to the Garlaige Citadel, the Crawler's Nest, and the... What's the name of the... And the... Eldieme Necropolis, I believe, is the name of the last one. The ancient papyrus is in the Necropolis. The X-ray mold is in the Crawler's Nest. The bomb coal is in Garlaige Citadel. Now, that's all fine and good, but it's not that simple. At least for some of them, it isn't. The bomb coal is located past what is known as a weight-restricted door in the Garlaige Citadel. Now, in the old days, you would have to get a certain number of players to stand on these little, like, pedals, these little platforms, and that would open a door, and then you can venture past that door, and you can find bombs or the bomb coal on the ground after that. You also, for the X-ray mold, the X-rays are incredibly dangerous, and the ancient papyrus would only drop off of lich mobs, basically black mage skeleton mobs inside of the necropolis. So, obviously there's a few problems with all of that, in that you have no way of getting past the door alone, innately, in Garlaige Citadel. And you're probably not strong enough without a party to get the other 2 items. Now, that's how it used to be. It's not really how it is nowadays. The Necropolis, you can actually find pieces of the papyrus on the ground. And so by collecting them all, which just takes a little bit of running around, nothing too major, you can just have that taken care of super quick. Where is... I think I have the Crawler's Nest. Durfland? Map of Durfland? I think I have that. Do I have a map of Durfland? Key items. Magical maps. Durfland. I do. Oh, I have of the Juno area, but that shouldn't... I don't think that does the trick. Yeah, that's just Juno. That's just right outside. Do you have... Do you have Crawler's Nest? I kind of remember how to get around a Crawler's Nest without help, but... Let me see if they have it. Dangraf Wadi, Bashino Uble, Hortoto. Crawler's Nest. There it is. Okay, so now we got maps of those areas, so we know what to do. Now for bomb coal, 3 bomb coal fragments. Map to use a pouch of weighted stones to get past the first gate. So the pouch of weighted stones is obtained by clicking a question mark inside of map 1. So we can basically just go to Garlaige Citadel, find the pouch of weighted stones, and go through now. I couldn't remember if it was a quest or what it was, but yeah, that's it. So first things first, which spot do I want to go to first? I think we go to Crawler's Nest first. Garlaige Citadel should be the fastest, in my opinion. The bomb coals are pretty far in, but that's perfectly fine. the Exo-Ray mold, there's 3 moldy crumbs in the crawler's nest. And that shouldn't be too bad. I'm trying to remember where the actual Exo-Ray pieces are. And it's... Oh, this NPC, by the way, I'll do this in the next video, maybe. That's the NPC that gives you the monthly orbs, the Amon Trove. I think I mentioned that when we first got here, but I'll do it again. We're also going to set our home point to Juno. It's a nice central spot. So that's what we're going to do for now. And we are going to go down to the crawler's nest. So, I don't think I've rented a Chocobo maybe more than once in this series thus far, ever since I got the license. Wait, why am I renting a Chocobo? I have my Raptor. You know what? For old time's sake, I'll just rent the Chocobo. It doesn't really make a difference. It's 200 gil. It's not the end of the world. And for old time's sake, I guess it's nice to rent the Chocobo once in a while. I have a feeling already this is going to be 2 separate videos. I can't help but feel like it's going to be 2 separate videos. It's just thinking about how long it's going to take me to run to Crawler's Nest, pick up the 3 items, run to Garlaige Citadel, pick up the 3 items. Like, it's not really a lot, and maybe it's not as long as I think it is off the top of my head, but it's not nothing. Crawler's Nest is here. Actually, wait a minute. I'm doing this the dumbest way possible. I should just go to the outpost in Pashao Marshlands and do it like that. Is that faster than me just committing to the decision I've already made? I think it is. I think I go over here and I use the book. I go to the outpost in Pashao and then get on my Raptor and run up. I think that's going to be faster. But yeah, we are level 50 now. As you can see, we made really rapid progress once I decided to actually buy a knife and use some of the upgrades. And Aparuru is going to afford us so much time. So as levels get slower and slower to obtain, which realistically, they don't get that much slower to obtain. Like, the level curve is pretty severe, but like, your levels still do not take that long to obtain their first time through. They take significantly less time once you've done a whole bunch of Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, but they still don't really take that long, I suppose is the point that I am making. It's nice to have an NPC that more readily restores their MP like Aparuru. In that scenario, it's just easier on you. That's all there is to it. Is this Durfland Pashao? Yeah, this is almost certainly going to be faster than committing to running down. It's, if anything, because I made the decision after I already started, it's going to be about equal in time. But the outpost is literally right on the zone line right here. And we have this boy. See? And this ever so haunting theme that, quite frankly, is perfectly fine in isolation as mount music, but drives me insane. Like, Final Fantasy XI is a game full of banger tracks that then, over the sheer number of times you hear it, drive you insane. And whenever you're listening to mount music in this game, you're usually listening to it for a pretty decent amount of time, in all honesty. And so, yeah, it can be exhausting to listen to, and just in all honesty. Alright, just checking my recording. Let's head in here. You know, Crawler's Nest actually used to be one of the premier leveling locations, and you can still use it now. I mean, I contemplated it in the previous... I can't say in the previous video. In the video when I was started at level 42. I still don't know if this is one video I'm recording right now or 2. So in the video where I first was like going to Movopolos and then trying Bastiono, I considered it as an option because a lot of people used Crawler's Nest for like a really big level range. And going all the way to 50 in there was not really an unreasonable thing. Like, the late 40s, doing it in Garlaige Citadel was still kind of feasible. And Garlaige Citadel was pretty popular from, like, level 32 to, you know, like 36, 37. But past that, a lot of people would just hang at Crawler's Nest. So I could have gone there. It would have been a pretty familiar location. And, quite frankly, I could have killed X-Rays to get the molds. I'm on Thief. It might still be smart of me to actually kill X-Rays instead of sneaking past them right now. They're not great to fight at level 50. They actually hit insanely hard for level 50, even though they are just incredibly tough, I believe. But if I Treasure Hunter proc an X-Ray and get the mold instantly, then it's better than stopping to collect the 3 items, especially because I don't remember exactly where these items are. Now, I have the list of them right here, so that's obviously sufficient. You know, I don't need more than the list of items. There is also the downside. I am capped on EXP at this point. I do have 7. I'm 1 EXP from 51. I can't get any more. So there is that. But, I don't know. I think from a sheer time perspective, it might be worth killing an Exo-Ray. We'll see. I'm going to get in there, some of my trust. Because for the Exo-Ray mold, I don't know. I'm looking at the description. And I guess I need to understand what map 2 and map 3 is in Crawler's Nest. Because I don't really remember. Whereas I know kind of off the top of my head where the Exo-Rays are. I will say Valeniral is a brave choice for me in here. Yeah, I don't normally do this on Thief, so I don't normally have the advantage of having Treasure Hunter for this. A Treasure Hunter is pretty primo for it. Not to mention, if I get in trouble, or even when I'm just walking around down here, I have the ever so lovely ability to flee. Before I do that, survival guide. Bit of a waste of time, but that's fine. I mean, not a waste of time in that it's not worth getting. I mean, a waste of time in that I fleed and then I turned around to get the survival guide because I forgot I was running past it. Because I'm stupid, okay? You've already learned that while I'm talking to you for this video, that I'm kind of stupid. Okay? And I accept that. Alright, so it says run past the bees. And that's fine. Ah, okay, so there's the first Exo-Ray mold. Okay, so the first Exo-Ray mold is where I thought it was. It's on the way to where the Exo-Rays themselves actually are. The second Exo-Ray mold is literally on the other side of the map. Okay, so there's 2 Exo-Ray molds. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have to walk past Exo-Rays anyway to get to Exo-Ray molds 1 and 2. So we're going to do that. I'm going to kill the Exo-Rays on the way. And if I get the mold, great. If I don't, by the time I get the second piece, then I will just collect the third piece. Because at that point, I don't think it's beneficial to me to do it any other way. So the first Exo-Rays are right here. And remember when I said Valeniral is not a great choice in this particular case? Yeah, unfortunately, mobs are all bunched up here and not in the way that it's actually beneficial to me. So this is an Amchuchu play. That way I don't just AoE like a bunch of mobs and end up with like 16 billion dudes on my back. Unfortunately, with double attack, my TP gain should go through the roof. Are these IT still? It's only tough, actually. Oh, is that a perfect chaos roll? Alright, let's see how this goes. Now that we've got the rolls underway. What? Alright, I don't care if he busts the chaos roll, I suppose. Yeah, Mchuchu also does a decent amount of bonus damage. And these things are only threatening to the tank, realistically. They're only dangerous to the people standing in front of them is the better way to... There's Exo-Ray mold. Alright, my inventory's full, but I mean, that was exactly the point that I was trying to make. Is it's like, well, what if I just... get it instant? And I think that might be the way to go because I'm on Thief. So remember when I said Thief buys you a lot of advantages when it comes to how you decide to do certain quests? I don't need the Delphoot key anymore either. I have the key item for it. That's exactly what I meant. Quite frankly, I don't even think I Warp Ring. You know what? There's no point not to Warp Ring. I already have it on. It's already charged. But, like, literally, that's exactly what I was talking about. So, that's one of the 3 items done. I think Ancient Papyrus might be the single most annoying one. I was going to say Garlaige, but Garlaige is actually not that bad. Garlaige is also one I should actually just collect the items on the ground because the bombs are incredibly dangerous. If they self-destruct, they could just outright kill me. I think even with, like, modern Final Fantasy XI, I don't think that's a good idea. So let's go to Battaglia Downs. I'm actually just going to step outside and then walk down to Battaglia Downs. And this is another one where it might be worth to just kill, because this is actually a really annoying one. I don't have the magic astrolabe. You will no longer need to use this or any plate to change the doors again. Maybe I should go buy the magic astrolabe. The magic astrolabe is actually just kind of a good item to pick up anyway. So one of the most annoying things about Eldieme Necropolis is that there are these gates that you have to interact with a switch in order to change the paths that are available. The problem is that in reality, you need one person to be changing the gate and then another person to progress and then another person to switch the gate. It just gets really, really annoying to do. I don't have the home point in Winter's Waters, really. I don't remember which one's closest to Waters because I'm stupid. Okay, this one. Yeah, and so it could just be really annoying to navigate. But for 10,000 gil, you can buy the magic astrolabe from Chirano at F8. So we're going to go do that real quick. And this is future-proofing. I'm going to end up back in the Necropolis at some point in the future. So it's inevitable that I buy this item. I might as well just do it now. Are there any of these that actually, I shouldn't take them anyway in case I keep killing mobs. This is one I definitely need to grab. But what is this? Oh, talk to comrades, right. That would have been another easy one. It's nice that I finally have Aparuru. But yeah, so getting this will allow me... If I do decide to pick up the Papyrus, it just makes it way easier. So we need to go to F8. I'm currently at K9. And let's be honest, I should probably grab the home points while I'm here. We're now able to teleport. I know! I think the Astrolabe NPC... So there's 2 parts to Waters. There's north and south. Pretty sure they're right over here. There's a bunch of shops and whatnot over here. And 2 more home points, mind you. And I'm pretty sure they're here in the shop area. H8. I'm sorry, I'm at H9. I think they're in one of these shops. G9. I think if I go down and into a building... Actually, I might not even need to go down. Timbers. Chirano. This is F9. So they're in one of these areas over here. Probably. Let's just do this. Chirano. What the? Oh, I'm dumb. I went south when I needed to go to 8. Yep. No, I knew that. That was a test. I want to see if you knew it. Remember? Dumb things. Dumb things. I do dumb things. Are they up top or are they down below? That is the thing I don't remember. I think they're in the building. Not on top of the building. Nope, there they are. Yes, I must have it now. Good enough. Perfect. 10,000 gil, and now I can freely walk around the necropolis. Yeah, we didn't used to always have these items. These were things they added later to make, like, navigating the necropolis and Garlaige Citadel to be much, much easier. Much less tedious when it's harder to form groups to do that kind of stuff. There are some items that they had back in the day for some zones. The 3 Mage Gate quest is definitely one that you still have to kind of go out of your way to do, and I highly recommend doing that. But, you know, for the most part, it was fine. All right, upper... We'll go here, I guess. Closest we can get to the exit. And then we will go to the southern entrance, and I will kill the liches. The thing is that there's liches that are mages, and there's liches that are not mages. And we need to, I think, very specifically kill the liches that are mages. And it says it's like a 15% drop rate by default. So that's pretty good. So I think we'll probably get it pretty quick. Don't mind me just throwing items out because I can't be asked to sell them. Tetsu parcel's probably got a decent amount in there. All right, let's grab this. Now I can teleport here if I wanted to. It's funny to think I never grabbed that, but you know. Oh, yeah, so liches are black mages, and fallen knights, I believe, are the non-mage ones. Just looking at the names of the enemies here. Could be that fallen knights are just a different enemy altogether. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. Alright, so we are going to go down here. Sometimes there's a notorious monster down here. It's not like it's really worth killing. It's one of these weapon type mobs. See these evil weapons? Sometimes there's a notorious monster. Most people don't kill these mobs, so the notorious monsters do not inherently spawn. I'm sure if I killed a few I can make it spawn, but there's also no reason to do that. Not a very valuable notorious monster. I just like the look. When I'm rolling through a zone, sometimes I just like to know. Oh, and here's Ivy to interrupt my recording. Ivy, you know what? I understand. This recording's going really long. So I totally understand your dismay for my current schedule. The one downside to doing this on Thief, given that I only have my dagger skill leveled, is that these mobs are pretty resistant to slashing and piercing damage. It's really blunt damage, punching, clubs, things like that. That they're more inherently susceptible to. I don't really have the right damage types to make this any easier, but they're also not much harder than the Exo Rays as a whole. And I can use Valeniral, who is very good against them. So it should be fine. And we have Aparuru now. So after 50 levels, I finally got my hands on Aparuru again. I say again. I think I've had Aparuru in a single video up to now. So the first enemies here are really weak mobs, these Lost Souls. I believe, yeah, they are a high enough level to aggro. So we are actually going to sneak past these mobs after I kill this one. Honestly, though, you'll see how slowly I even just kill these Lost Souls. And you'll understand why maybe killing isn't the best option here. Whereas I could just sneak past them all and pick up the Papyrus. And now with the Magic Astrolabe, it's probably my best bet. Big thing with these mobs, they do aggro low health. Not really much of a concern at the moment, but if you are in a bad situation and you don't want to fight more, and then you get hit for, like, they have some AoE attacks. Blood Saber's a big one, for example. It can be really bad. Alright, so we are gonna sneak oil and walk past these things. Oh, I used the wrong item like an idiot. I used my Invis Powder. I could have swore I was on the sneak oil, but, well, I guess we're fighting them all. I swear I get dumber by the moment. I must have moved it. Yeah, I know. I was just on Prism Powder. I'm just that dumb. Again, fortunately, they're pretty low level. But I don't need any of the XP from these things, so waste of time. I don't have Curse now either. 1 hour? Alright. Well, I deserve that. Don't think Aparuru has Curse now. And I have no Holy Powders. No holy powders? Holy waters. Jesus, I can't speak. Hey, there's... So that not ability, that's the one that restores MP. Can you stop black clouding the... Oh, no. Black cloud is the blind. Well, that was a mess. And Curse also makes me walk slower, so... That's what I get. Should have paid attention. My own worst enemy. Fortunately, I have enough HP that I'm not at low aggro range. Low HP aggro range. So, I guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way, huh? So we're going to make a left at the fork, and then we have a handful of locations to hit. F7, F9, and H9. So, there are these little, like, four-way intersections that's where the papyrus are. With the astrolabe, we can just walk between them all. It's no big deal. Oh, God, the slow from this. It just makes me move slower. Pretty sure I'm okay to flee with sneak up. Invis it would break, but I'm pretty sure that's fine. Yep. It'll only somewhat counteract the dumb decision I've made. Yeah, so that's the first papyrus. Then we go west to F9, and then we go north to F7, and we're done. And this used to be a considerably worse solo experience. But fortunately, now it's not. Except when you get cursed because you're stupid. And then you run so slow. Alright, and now with the astrolabe, I think I just do this, right? Yep. If you don't have the astrolabe, that's not how you open that. I think the switch to change them are in like the south, north, east, and west big rooms is what it is. Although, there is an alternative. So, like, that path I came in, if I just go west and then see that big room to the west, and if I just go north through that, all of those will actually be open, and you won't actually need to, like, change the switches in any capacity. So, it's not that bad to venture through normally, but obviously the astrolabe for basically 0 gil just resolves this. And then one more. And then... Oh, yeah, treasure chest in here. There it is. And that gives me the ancient papyrus. So now it's warp ring out of here, and we can go to the last location in Garlaige Citadel. Now, Garlaige Citadel, on the way there, I'm tempted to take a bit of a detour because of nostalgia. Not even nostalgia, it's more like ancient vendetta. So, as a monk in this game, there's a series of quests. I've mentioned them before. The belt quests, where you can obtain... You start the game with a white belt, if you start the game as a monk. And then you get a quest for a purple belt at level 18. And you get a quest for a brown belt at level 40. And then a quest for the black belt at 75. Now, this was... a pretty massively important thing to do back in the day. You could buy the purple and brown belts technically from other players, but it was It's very expensive. Most people would not advise that you take that route for the purple and brown belt because you'd also have to do those quests in order to qualify for the black belt quest. Now, for purple belt, I had mentioned in previous videos, there was these NPCs, these bosses. I remember mentioning Steel Fleece. It was like Rampaging Ram and like, I don't remember the name of the other one. Rampaging Ram is the one I always remember. Basically, there were just these 2 Ram bosses in Kochta Highlands and Lithium Plateau, and then there were super versions of them. Bloodtear, Baldriff, and Steel Fleece Baldrich or something like that. Something in that vein. I'm also going the wrong way. Ivy, chill. I could feel Ivy the whole time I was trying to... Ivy, stop. I'm not done recording, please. Please, Ivy. I spend all day with you, although you've actually been really good today. You haven't been asking for that much attention today. I'll give you a few scritches, but I can't have you sitting on my lap. It's too distracting, and she plays with the wire on the controller. Oh. So it's not the wisest thing for me to do. Anyway, as I was saying, that's for the purple belt quest. The brown belt quest requires 3 other notorious monsters: Molboger, Deadly Dodo, and New. And Deadly Dodo is actually present in this zone, the Soramug Champagne. I don't know how that's pronounced. And so I'm kind of tempted to just go see if he's there. It's a little bit out of the way. He's on the northeast corner of the map. And it's unlikely. It's very likely that if I actually killed a dodo out there, like a regular mob, that the dodo itself would probably spawn in the very next set. But whatever. I think I'm pretty committed to the idea of this being 2 separate videos at this point anyway. Yeah, so these Taberbeaks, not these ones, but the ones to my east, those are the ones I'm referring to. And so I'm just going to get close enough to check to see if it's up. And if it isn't, which it most likely isn't, then we move on with our life. No big deal. There's a few notorious monsters in here that are pretty easy. There's one to the southeast that's almost always up as well. Or similar deal, is very easy to spawn. But we're not concerned about those ones. We're concerned about this one. And concerned is not the right word, because this is completely irrelevant. I couldn't even do this. Like, even if I got the item, it would be irrelevant until I actually do the purple belt quest. But it's just kind of, you know, it's a fun little thing to do. For all I know, somebody's out here trying to get it right now. So yeah, like that Taberbeak is a placeholder. Yeah, you would basically just run around this area and kill the Taberbeaks until you saw Deadly Dodo show up. Think if it was up, we would have seen it already. I don't think there's very many Taberbeaks in this area. I think there's like 3, maybe 4. So yeah, looks like it's a no-go. I'm not going to even kill one to try to make it spawn. It doesn't achieve anything. It's just for old time's sake. Now, as for Garlaige Citadel, it's actually down here. And so we're going to, like I said, it's a bit out of the way, but I just wanted to do it. So now we're going to double back. Normally, it's quite easy. You just literally hug the right wall after you leave Juno. And, well, I mean, hug the right wall. Don't zone into Rollenberry Fields, but you basically just hug this wall, and eventually you'll end up there. Like, you have to, you know, do a few, like, dips and ducks, and there's, like, some cliffs, but it still basically follows that rule. Hug the right wall, and bam, Garlaige Citadel. I should be fine to just, like, beeline to that right wall from here. Now remember that as we're getting around these maps, this raptor is truly a blessing, because in most circumstances, I wouldn't be able to just get on a raptor at any point. I would have to, if I want to do something and I get off my chocobo, I am walking the rest of the way. But modern Final Fantasy XI has its perks, and that is definitely a major one among them. There's also another weapon notorious monster that can spawn. I forget what it's called, but very similar to the... in most locations that have weapons, it's actually a pretty safe bet that there will be a notorious monster if there's like a flood. Like, I'm thinking of all the locations in this game that have like a bunch of weapons, and most of them have a notorious monster nearby. Most of the times they're not very valuable. Like they're not like, they don't drop anything of super big importance. There are some, but you know, the Shikigami weapon is a pretty major one that most people will remember. That's one of those dancing weapon type enemies that drops an incredibly rare and powerful item. Still a somewhat decent item even today, although there's a higher level version of it now that's significantly better. The Yin Yang robe was the original one that most people will remember. But we're probably never going to fight that thing. It's funny because there's a non-zero chance that the zone that I go through to get to Sky, which is where Shikigami weapon is, it's not that unlikely that Shikigami weapon will just be there. I wouldn't be able to spawn it as Thief Sub Warrior. It actually, I wouldn't even, I'm sorry, it would spawn. I wouldn't be able to fight it as Thief Sub Warrior. The big thing about Shikigami weapon is that it spawns on the map completely invisible and then just moves around the map gradually. Your goal is to locate it, and then when standing nearby it, you cast a magic spell. Weapon type mobs, they aggro sound, but they also aggro magic. So as soon as you cast a magic spell by it, it reveals itself, and then you can start fighting it. I can't do that as a thief, and your trust spells don't aggro, so it is what it is. All right, so we are going to grab the pouch of weighted stones. I'm going to summon my trusts. I won't be fighting anything in here, but never hurts to have the safety of having a few friends. I should also probably go grab those slightly more expensive trusts as well. Probably doesn't hurt to grab them. The login point ones, that is. I have like, what, 2,040 login points? I think they were 300 each, maybe 500 each. Like, come on. Grab the survival guide. And then we are going to... So, mobs in here. The big thing is the beetles, which aggro sight. They aren't the only things in here, but that's the big one. There are also a bunch of undead. However, I was expecting this. Most of the time, somebody's in here killing beetles. It's a very popular leveling spot even now. So I think the pouch of weighted stones are very specific. I don't think they're over here. I'm pretty sure they're in the room. There's like a room with a bunch of skeletons right there. Because this is for the thief quest. Yeah. The thief quest is what uses those holes in the ceiling. The pouch of weighted stones should be, I think, on my right. I think I step into this room on the right. It should be at wing rats and some skeletons. And then in the next room over... Right, no, it's right here. Okay. Pick up the pouch of weighted stones. And now I prism powder so I can walk past the beetles. Now, a big thing with Garlaige Citadel is that there are holes in the ground. And those holes are not just for decoration. If you fall in one, you fall into the lower section, which is a much higher level location. There is actually a very valuable, or what used to be a very valuable notorious monster down there, Circuit. If you play Final Fantasy XIV, you're probably familiar with them. And they drop a pretty valuable ring sometimes. You can go kill them for fun. Most of the time, Circuit's down there, but not at this level. We would want to be closer to 75 before fighting Circuit, as it is quite a threatening monster. But this is the gate. This is where you would normally need to have 4 players standing on these different platforms, and then it would open the gate here in the southeast corner of the first map. But we don't need to do that. Now, there's actually some notorious monsters that spawn in this very next section. And I don't know if I can kill one of them. There's one I'm looking for that would be kind of cool. Old Two Wings. So that one's not that bad, but I don't think I can beat it at this level. The other one is also almost certainly here, although I don't see it. And that is Skewer Sam. So they're on opposite sides at the moment, which means this might actually be doable. I'm going to re-invis, and I'm going to check what level Old Two Wings is. Because Old Two Wings, it's not really worth killing. It drops a high evasion cape. The bat cape. And it says it's only level 52, though. Let me check. Let me examine the enemies around here and see what they are. Skewer Sam, I think, is significantly more threatening if I'm remembering properly. Decent challenge? Yeah, so the problem is there's like 8 billion other bats. But I think old Two Wings in isolation. I mean, even the other bats aren't really much of a problem. I think I could just kill it, in all honesty. I think even if I aggro other bats, it's not even a concern. Alright, I got one other. Yeah, he only hits me for 45. That's not... If he only hits me for 45, that's easy. That's free pickings. I mean, I just want to see if I get the drop. Oh, finally I got Curse Nud. Aparu's been holding out on me this whole time. I mean, so obviously couldn't curse to me while I wasn't in combat, but those other times I was in combat and it wasn't doing it. It was just busy dealing with everything else. Yeah, Skewer Sam's significantly more threatening. If Skewer Sam wandered over here, I would be very dead. So very glad that Old Two Wings and Skewer Sam were not on the same side of the map. Wow, that did a lot less damage. That was 700 damage? All right, if you say so. Damn! Yo, Tenzin putting in work. Do you see that damage? His auto attack's just chunking. Like 170 damage with those 2 autos. It helps that we're not constantly getting sonic booms, so he can actually just do damage this entire time. Oh, and now he's hasted. Oh yeah, here it comes. Get him, Tenzin. One more auto. Alright, I knew I wasn't going to skill chain off of that, but still. Hey, I got the cape. So yeah, with Treasure Hunter, the odds of getting the cape was pretty good. It's just evasion, like it's not even as good as the Acura cape, but you know what? Cool, I got the cape. You know, whatever, right? We got the cape. It's a fun thing to do. Sue me, all right? Don't do that. I don't want to get sued. Where is Skewer Sam? All right, Skewer Sam's still on the north side. I think I can just sneak past. No, you know what? I shouldn't sneak past. I should sneak end invis. There's going to be bombs coming up. Now, the explosures down here drop the bomb coal. So, in theory, I could just kill them. That's not what we're going to do. We are just going to pick up the items that we need and move on. And then we're going to go back and we're going to raise our level. So here's what we're going to do also. In the next video, I'm going to quickly hit 51. I'm like just going to kill some like random mob and get to 51. And then I'm almost certain, if my memory serves correctly, and I think I said this in the one of the videos prior, that at 51, I can do LB2. Now, the LB2 quest used to require you to either sneak or fight past 3 pretty high-level enemies. Doable at 55 with, like, an actual party, but, you know, still threatening enough enemies. Also, where is the first one? I think the first one's in this next room. Of the 3 things that we need to collect off the ground. Pretty sure all 3 of them are in these rooms. With the explosures. Honestly, the only thing that makes killing these explosures kind of worth considering, I just canceled the wrong effect, idiot, is that they aggro site anyway. So you have to cancel invis to pick up the item. But they usually hang in the center of the room like this, so it's not that big of a deal. And I think the last one is down that hallway? No, I think it's in the next room, right here. Let's see. The last one... No, it actually might be down there. Where is the last one? Let me check. I think I walked past it. G6. Oh, it's actually like the first room after running past the third banishing gate. Okay, so it is actually ahead. Silent oil. I don't know if there's an explosion around this corner. I could check the wide scan, but... these mobs are actually good at leveling, for leveling at this level. 50, I think like 47 to 50 you can actually fight funnel bats. It's like a good level range for them. Acid greases, we definitely don't want to fight those. Yeah, everything here is tough. Yeah, we definitely don't want to fight acid greases. Those aggro sound, it's fine. We have sneak. There are explosures in that room. Is that the room that has the bomb? I can't target it. It'll be the first room after running past the third banishing gate. Unfortunately, you sometimes need to be standing in the room. Oh, wait. Okay, I targeted it through the wall. All right, and we got our bomb coal fragment. All right, we're ready to break the level cap. But yeah, so the idea is we actually want to get the level cap increased to 60 before even gaining any experience, like past 51. My main logic for that is, why would I do 5 levels worth of leveling, come back to a different quest, when I can do it at 51 and not come back and do the quest until 60? Again, you don't have to do it that way, but that's my logic. It's not that bad for me to just quickly grab a level, do the follow-up quest, and then just go on a big leveling spree to 60. Especially because after I get to like 55 to 60, I can progress Rhapsodies of Vana'diel a little bit further. There's quests that I can do next that is actually very important for Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. It'll give me access to a very good leveling zone and let me advance the story, and I can pick up some key items that are really good. And so it would be valuable to me. Oh, Matt. Keep forgetting I have these knocked gloves. My equipment is so bad. Don't worry about your equipment, though. I've reiterated that before. Your trusts are going to be doing the large amount of the work. All right, so now I need to trade him the items.
This is good, very good. Today you've taken your first step to the broader world. What? You don't understand? Just get out there and fight. Then you'll see. Your level limit is now 55. Yep, and with that, the trek to max level does truly continueth. We're 1 EXP away. Now, funnily enough, actually, we can end the video on a good note. I didn't do this on purpose, but this works out quite well. Under Unity, I have Talk to Comrades in Unity chat. I've talked about this in previous videos, but what I do is I go to Unity, I enter the active state. As long as it doesn't tell me that the Unity is full, I just quickly type in-game. I'll just type /U and then do that. Inactive, I gained a level. And now I can get the next quest. How's it feel at the top, Sonny? Well, you ain't even close yet. You're just getting started. Think you had a hard time with that last quest? When I was your age, I had to gather twice as many items in half the time, so stop complaining. Do you think you've got what it takes to take the next step? Don't think I'm forcing you or anything. Good answer. I'm proud to have a pupil like you. Anyway, listen close to what I have to say. Many caverns to the north are home to fiends that can find you even when you're invisible. Bring me 3 samples of Frigisite from deep within. This time, it's a test of wits. Barrier breakers need brains, after all. We'll get going.
Yeah, so what he's saying is the enemies can see through invisible. It means that you cannot just use prism powders or the invisible spell to sneak past them. However, when you're on a mount, they ignore you outright. So we just are going to mount past those 3 enemies and then go get the items. Now, I'm not doing that in this video. I will do that in the next video. And you know what? I think we're splitting these videos in 2 because this has been an hour and a half recording. And I think that each half of what I did in this video is about 45 minutes a piece. So I think we're going to be doing that video split. But I would say that was quite the productive hour and a half that I just spent. So thank you for watching my Final Fantasy XI Let's Play. In the next several parts, we will be doing more leveling. We will be breaking our level cap. And I think we also need to consider leveling our sub-job soon. What level did I get my sub-job to? Warrior's at 28. So at some point, we'll have to level that. We should also probably go unlock Ninja and maybe do a little bit of that as well. Not super important because, again, our trusts are doing the majority of the work, but it's something we'll have to do eventually anyway. But if you're enjoying the Final Fantasy XI Let's Play, be sure to comment below. Be sure to like, interact with the video. It always helps. And we always, always appreciate it. Be sure to check out all the other videos if you haven't yet. Go back, throw them on when you're doing something on your second monitor, whatever it is you got to do. And with that, I will see all of you in our next adventure here in Final Fantasy XI here in 2025. With that, I will see you in the next one. And until then, take care.